today's video, I'm gonna be taking over for Adam, and Adam's gonna be taking over for me. So, we just got here, we just started unpacking everything. We got the S15, we got the E36, and we don't really have any tires.
Bro, the golf cart.
Wait, what's your tire setup here?
No foam tires. We ran into a tire issue, so we put together a hodgepodge of stuff that we had laying around.
I don't have tires either, so I don't know if I can say that.
I'm pumped you're here, dude. Last minute decided to come out.
But now I don't have tires. That storm screwed all of us over.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to like try to steal, or I was gonna ask Trevor if maybe he has like a place where I can like buy local tires or something.
We'll get you sorted. We'll figure something out.
Even if it's like just like Delante's or something.
So TJ's got his big boy car out here, 2J 350Z.
The last time I drove it was when your S15 was brown. What was that, like a year ago?
You haven't driven it since?
No, last time I drove with you was with that car. But it was not that color. You've been driving an E36 for the most part today.
Yeah.
Yeah? Which is like how much? Like 5-ish?
Like 550. I'm stoked. It's finally a chill event. No competition, no qualifying, nothing. Just driving with the boys. Got the 15 here. We're gonna do a little bit of light testing on, and then the E36. I'm gonna play with some alignment setups and just shred. I haven't even gotten a chance to see it yet, but our homie Ray got the E36 all freshly repainted in the rear end, all dialed in after a little bit of crash damage when I lost the fender and clutch kickers. So it should be looking extra pretty for Gridlife. We're out here with the handy dandy camber caster gauge. We got ourselves a set of turn plates now so we can actually do caster the right way. Took some quick measurements after I screwed with the lollipops on this car. I was having over centering issues, which I didn't even know you could have with a front rack. So rather than on a rear rack car where you would be trying to move the wheels back or move the rack forward, on this I actually had to move the wheels forward or the rack back, so we moved the wheels forward. But this car I don't think has ever had like a proper caster sweep, so one side was like way off compared to the other. So we're dialing that in, making a few Ackerman changes, and hopefully this car will be able to go to full lock without binding, which would be sick. Kind of using this as a little bit of test for the next round of clutch kickers. First time going out here. I've never driven a big power car this track. I drove the S13, but it was a different layout. I'm excited. Gonna be a little lost first time on this track. I'm gonna be running a lesser grip setup than usual. Freddie's gonna ride with me during the first session since the elevation might throw the tune off a little bit. We're gonna be doing some vlogging as we go through. to kind of save wear and tear, and I'm used to driving this car super gripped up, so it's a bit weird. We have the radiator out when we painted the rear crash structure. You look, it's all nice and pretty now. It seems like there's still some air. The car is getting kind of hot. Maybe something's loose in the front end. Overall, a good first session, but there's some stuff that needs to be addressed on the car. Just make sure it's super solid before we start doing crazy party laps. But they're running the track super hot. It seems like there's gonna be a lot of seat time, so I'm pumped. So we addressed most of the little weird issues we were having with the E36, fixed a couple things. I'm gonna drive that in the beginning of the session, and then when I burn those tires, I'm gonna come back in. We got the big boy tires, we got some of these to test the new setup. So the 315s, I'm gonna go out there and just do a full send lap and feel how the new rear suspension geometry feels. Plus, we went up about 300 horsepower with the new G42 1200, sick turbo. We have the G42 1450 on the Barra, and it's just the fattest mid-range ever. The dyno graphs look amazing. I haven't driven the car once now that makes all this extra power. So between that, the rear end, and then now the 275 in the front, I'm just gonna go pretend it's a qualifying lap and just throw down a heater, and we'll see what it feels like. the that felt wild. The in-car? Oh man, I hope it was recording. I don't know if I stopped or not. It felt like I was driving like a quad with a lot of horsepower, and like, you know, I was just wheeling mid-corner. Definitely, Chelsea goes, that feels like a promo dude. Definitely a few little things to work out. We want to run a bigger shot down low because it's a little lazy, as you guys saw on entry, but we don't have enough gate for that right now. So if we run too much nitrous, we can't control the boost, and it ramps it too much, and then we'll be making like 1,000 foot-pounds of torque at way too low of RPM. So until we can get a bigger gate on this thing, we're limited with a lower shot. I just got to drive it a little more juice, but that was a freaking ride and a half. And that was me like pedaling it too, because we got like warning lights and stuff going on. So long to get to 6.9 psi. I'm excited to drive this car at night. I don't want to say that I've never driven this car at night, because y'all will pull up some video from like 2013 of me driving this car at night, and I'm gonna look like a liar. I don't recall driving this car at night, so I'm excited. freaking hooked up on that last session. I had 2 tires that were grippy boys, so I put those on. The RTR guys were kind enough to give me some nittos, so going into tomorrow, this thing's gonna be way better than today, which I'm stoked about. Also wound up playing with the top hats in addition to the changes they made on the bottom. A little bit of advice from Chelsea. It doesn't seem to bind as much anymore, which I'm stoked about. That was one of my goals from this event, was to figure out why D36 has been doing that and solve it. I guess I can show you really quick. look, before we had Chelsea's top hats that actually add a bunch of caster by moving the strut back, but that combined with where we had to put the bottom of the control arm with the lollipops was fighting itself. So we rotated it and it seemed to have done the trick, removed some camber too, which we needed to do anyway. That was a blast. Very hard to see my headlights suck in this. On video is just how it was in real life. There's a couple corners where I would come in too shallow or too deep because I just had no idea where the I was going, but it's rad. It's a blast. It's sick coming out here. Driving, just not really caring, hanging out, and I think there's live music, some partying going on, but I think the main event's tomorrow. So for now, stoked. I hope the fun translated on the video, and see what we get in tomorrow.